Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Disney review. So today I'm pretty excited to be taking a look at set number 71040, the Disney Castle. This set includes 4,080 pieces retailing for $349.99 when it released October of 2016. Now, as of this year, 2022, this set is still on the market from LEGO stores and LEGO Shop at Home 6 years later. It's just wow, that's just crazy. I always find it interesting to see what sets LEGO decides to pick to stick around for years, and I think that this is a great exception of a set that probably doesn't really need any changes. I'm really excited to build this and see if there's anything that I feel could be changed from this design back in 2016. For one thing, I really like the minifigures included in here. They are still exclusive, I believe, especially Tinkerbell up there, which has not come in any other sets, even in the Disney Princess line. But getting the ball rolling, we might as well take a look at the packaging. You get your Disney logo from the top and also that very small little Disney Castle logo. Really love all the fireworks in the background. Colors are really nice to bring this out. Definitely better compared to, say, like if they used a black background for this. I definitely prefer seeing these more realistic backgrounds on these D2C sets compared to what we see nowadays, especially when it comes to like your minifigures interacting from the bottom. I just think this is a really nice feeling, and especially for a Disney set, we need that background there. And yes, I know the whole idea of the black background is to drag in people who normally won't buy LEGO sets, but for me personally, I really love seeing backgrounds like this. Flipping us over to the back of the box, you can take a better look at the interior for this set. You get that dollhouse style, which I think is fine. Most people will probably end up displaying this set with the exterior first, but needless to say, the interior has a number of really cool references that I'm excited to explore. From the very top, you'll also see your dimensions and also the real-life model of Cinderella's castle. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say for the box, so let's open this up and take a look at what's inside. When first opening the box, you get a number of loose bags in addition to this plain white box, which will feature more bags and also your instructions and sticker sheet. Included for the box contents, you get a total of 34 bags in this set, all split up into 14 number groups, which each feature about 1 to 4 bags each. In addition, you also get 4 loose parts, which is really annoying that they aren't individually bagged because they are a little bit scratched up. And then of course your instructions and sticker sheet. For the sticker sheet included, as you can see with my face on it, it is quite reflective. You have some patterns of the bricks that you're going to get on the side of the castle and even some shields up from the top and some other extra details for the interior. Now for the instructions included, you get a rather thick booklet, which is quite nice to see. You get the main picture of the set from the front, mimicking the front of the box. From the back, you get the Win Friends lady there, which is, I guess it's fine. I would have liked to see something Disney from the back, but that's okay. You get your piece count for a few pages, leading to the final overall model. But the real exciting stuff comes from the very front of the instructions, where you can get some information about Cinderella's castle, which is what the Disney castle is. And we also have some of the characters included here with their signatures, which is also quite nice to see. Another pretty cool thing is that we also get some details about all the references included from the various Disney movies: Princess and the Frog, Little Mermaid, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Tangled, Snow White, Fantasia, Cinderella, and Brave. To start off our minifigure selection, of course, we have to look at Mickey Mouse, who comes with 2 brand new prints for the torso and legs. You can take a look at the side leg printing on this figure, which is really great to get, and even the printing on the very top of the feet, which is something that I guess LEGO can't do anymore, because they should have done that in the most recent Back to the Future D2C, but that's not something for this particular video. Moving to the back, you can see we don't get any back printing, though we do get and under the torso accessory of these tailcoats, which you'll also see on the 2018 Professor Flitwick minifigure from Harry Potter. Bringing us back to the front, I really love the printing on the front of the torso with the bow tie. You get the white hands for some gloves, and you get the dual molding for the headpiece with the Mickey Mouse print from the front for the eyes, which you'll see also from the CMF variant. Minnie Mouse also comes with an exclusive outfit in this set with some special dual molded legs, where you can see we have that yellow printing from the very bottom. Really cool to see them printing a lighter color on a darker surface. We get that skirt piece that was introduced in the CMF, though this is a special version for this character, with the red and the white polka dots, which continue onto the torso. Get those dual molded arms with also the white strip printing at the top. And the polka dots continued from the back of the outfit. And as we come to the very front, you can see that the headpiece is the same exact mold that you're going to get from Mickey, just with the special printing for Minnie Mouse, and you'll also utilize that hole on the top of her head for the bow piece, which is also a special color for this particular set. Unfortunately, it seems Donald Duck is unchanged from the collectible minifigures version, where you get the dual molded legs, you get that under the torso accessory of the ducktail, which is a really great accessory to see included. Get the printing from the front and the back of the torso for his outfit, and even some arm printing, which is a nice touch. And then the head mold that you're going to see for both Donald and Daisy, which has the hole on the very top that you can utilize to place on either the hat or the bow piece. For Daisy Duck, again, we get that dual molding for the legs, though this time we get that extra little bit of toe printing for her character. Get that under the torso accessory of the ducktail, some dual molded arms, which is a nice touch, printing from the front of the torso, and from the back for her outfit, which is exclusive to this particular set, and then again the same exact duck headpiece, just with the special printing for Daisy Duck, and you get that bow piece in that lavender color as the accessory that goes in the hole there. And then the very last minifigure included is Tinkerbell, which I think is a nice inclusion, just as like this being a magical place, the Disney castle, but I would have liked to see them include maybe Cinderella, because this is Cinderella's castle. But needless to say, this is still a really amazing figure. She comes with one accessory, being the magic wand piece from all the way back in the day in that translucent yellowish green. Looking at the rest of her design, we get some printing for the toes there. We also have a little bit of printing that's covered up by the skirt piece. We have the lime green torso where you have the flesh tone printed on it, which doesn't look that great, but whatever, it is what it is. LEGO's been working very hard on trying to fix the flesh tone on a lighter or darker surface torso. You get that sleeveless look for the arms. And we also get some more printing from the back of the torso just to define her character, in addition to that under the neck accessory of the fairy wings, which we also saw introduced within a collectible minifigures series in this color. And then as for the facial expression, that is brand new and exclusive to her character. Unfortunately, we only get the one face, and then the hair piece is also a brand new piece specific for her particular character. The Disney Castle is a fairly impressive build. It's a very tall model, and unfortunately the place that I actually picked to display this thing, it didn't work out. I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to put it. But in the meantime, here it is in all its glory on my review table. And I do have to applaud LEGO on making it so this does actually come apart in 3 pieces. This top tower, this middle section, and then just this part down here. So that'll at least make it easier for us to take a closer look at all the smaller details. I thought we might as well start with the exterior and then move on to the interior when it comes to looks. So here we have the front entrance, where you have a mix between a studded and non-studded tiled off area where you can place your minifigures. Now normally I wouldn't really complain about the tiling off, but I would have liked to see more studs just so then you can place more figures. And also it is somewhat of an annoyance when it comes to placing a certain amount of figures here, that when you eventually get to the point where you have more than just the figures that you're actually placing from the set, a lot of them you'll start to lose their faces, which is a little annoying. I mean, it is a whole placement thing, but I would have liked to see more studded area and maybe a little bit more depth here when it comes to climbing up the steps. But at the end of the day, I think that this works fine. Am I gonna modify it? I don't think so. I also really like getting these fence pieces from the very side in white. Those are really nice to get in this set. You'll also see that as you move up to the higher levels. We have some lights, which also feature a really interesting piece, that being this crown in brown from the Lord of the Rings series, which is really interesting to see that piece being used here. And that is a brand new recolor for this set. You get those main front doors, which you can actually open using the clip piece connections to take a better look at what's happening in the interior, which again we'll get to momentarily. As you move up, we have some stickered and non-stickered pieces from the front, where you have the actual clock here, which is a brand new print that also came within a 2020 Cinderella's Castle in the Disney Princess line. We also get this printed wall element piece from the back, which is the only one that's included. It is a little disappointing because I really love the pattern, and if you have multiples of those, you can actually make something really cool. You'll also see that we have a sticker on this 2x2 tile piece, which I will bring you a closer picture of that, where you can see that the sticker color does not match the color of the piece, which is just so bothersome when it comes to a $350 set, which probably would cost more if this was made in today, that the sticker color does not match the color of the actual piece, and it just really bothers me. Though talking about stickers, when it comes to the rest of this build, I really love all the brick patterns that you're gonna see from the exterior of the build on these circular wall elements, on these panel pieces, and even on these pieces, which are also really nice to get in that color, though it is unfortunate that you put stickers on those if you want to use them outside the situation. Another thing that I have to applaud LEGO on is the repetition when it comes to different building techniques here, especially when it comes to these 1x2 plates that are covered up with one of those 1x1 tiles. Though annoying to build, it does turn out looking really nice, especially as you move up within the model. I did also want to note that when it comes to this section down here, we get our very first reference to a particular Disney movie, that being The Princess and the Frog, where you have two frogs, and also this little crown piece to reference that movie, which I guess isn't anything too special, but I guess it's nice enough. I might as well add that I really like getting these pieces in dark gray. You get a lot of those in this particular set, and I also really like the greebling that they do throughout the bottom of the build, just to add a little bit of something different that you're not going to see when it comes to the straight and ordinary interior. Now for the towers that you see rising up to the top, we start to use some more of that dark blue, which I really love for this particular set. Again, though a lot of these building techniques are repetitive for these towers, they turned out really, really nice. Lots and lots of building on the side for a lot of this. You even get those flag pieces in gold, which is really cool to get. Those unicorn horns in white, which you see throughout this entire front area. And again, a lot of these pieces are really nice to get within this particular set. This next section of the build goes right on top of what we just looked at, and features yet again a lot more repetitive building techniques in terms of these 1x2s, and a little bit of what you're going to see up here for this tower piece. We also add a lot more of the tan in addition to the white for this particular section, and we continue with those dark blue towers. Now, one part of this that I really love are these lines of white, which you're going to see all around for this particular section. I really love how they intertwine between the colors here, and also just some of the different details that they have for like the windows. We also start to see a lot more of the gold as we reach the very top of this tower. Again, a lot of the different window details are really interesting. This one just kind of confuses me in terms of there's just so much that's covering it up in terms of interior details, but again, you get some more repetitive building here, which I actually really like how this turned out with these little clip pieces that are intruding from the sides. We also continue to add more of those Unikitty horn pieces as we move to the very top. with some interesting building techniques. I really like how they did these up here. And that brings us to our last section of the exterior that we're going to place right here. The very last section that we have to look at is this tall tower, which is the very last thing that we end up building in this set. Now we continue with a lot of the white and tan detailing, especially when it comes to using like those unicorn horn pieces. I really like that. Some repetitive building up here. Though one thing that you might be interested to know about, which is an interior detail that kind of comes out to the exterior, is we get stud guns in the Disney castle. I was just amazed when I saw that, because I just never really realized that we got stud guns here. And of course you do get some extra ammunition if you end up losing these. These are supposed to represent fireworks, where we have 2 stud pieces, one of which with the hole in the center that allows you to place this gem on the very top of it. Now if you don't know how stud guns work, you can see from inside that we have these little buttons, and then you just click, click, and they go out into the distance, never to be found again, and you get extras of these if you lose them. Moving up the tower, again, some more repetitive building techniques just to keep everything consistent. I really like the window work here. I think it's really interesting how they were able to put all this together, and a lot of the building techniques, like the upside down building techniques that they used to build this little extension piece. And as we move to the very top, we have some gold, which this is probably one of the more ugly looking parts, especially considering this particular section is supposed to be completely gold and not have that dark tan. But because this released in 2016, I'll just give it to them as, it's fine, it's okay. Lots of unicorn horns, lots of those golden studs, and this was really a pain in the butt to build. Lots and lots of 1x1s, but still it turned out looking really nice. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for the exterior. But now for the interior, we're gonna go room by room, starting here, and working our way back down to the ground floor. So for this first room, we just have a sort of empty tower area that you can place a minifigure in, I guess, if you really want to. There's enough clearance room if you want to place someone up in this room. Otherwise, I don't see why you'll want to put anything in there. Maybe you can put some extra accessories if you have any of that, but to be honest, it's really nothing special. This particular room, we at least have some references to look at. We have the mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? The sticker's just a little too small to really get your reflection, though if you place a minifigure, like Donald here, you should be able to see his reflection in the mirror. Another small reference to Snow White that we get here is the inclusion of this red apple, which I guess is really cool to see, and also I like the way that they built that jar piece. Though bringing up the mirror again, I just wish there was a lot more gold on it, or at least that they didn't use these yellow pieces. And at the very base floor, again, we get those stud guns from the very back to represent the fireworks. But we also get this chest piece, which are on top of those jumper plates, which you can open up to reveal some references to Tangled, where you get a brush for Rapunzel's hair, a pair of scissors to cut it, which will turn it black because that makes it lose its magic. Moving on to the next section, we can place this right on top as the next tallest tower. We start off with this bedroom, which I would think is to represent Sleeping Beauty, because it's a bed, and this also covers up the windows, which is quite unfortunate. I wish that it wasn't covering up all the windows. You also get some exclusive prints here for these Unikitty tails, which are printed on both sides, I might as well add. In terms of the color scheme for the bed, I think it's fine. It's nothing really too special. I really like the curtains from the back, though again, covering up the windows, bad move in my opinion. As we move down to the next level, we have a few different references. One to Fantasia, where I did have to add some pieces here just to help along the little hat that we have. We have the Sorcerer's Apprentice hat, which is, I believe, the same exact hat that we saw within a collectible minifigures series, where you get the moon and you also get the stars all around it. Really nice printing on the hat piece. It's something you don't really see very often with LEGO when it comes to certain printing styles, but needless to say, this was a loose accessory in addition to a few others, which was quite annoying to have rattling around as I was building this model. Additionally, we get this plain brown book, which is also quite confusing because you actually do get the modern day book combination in this set, which I'll show momentarily. There's nothing exciting in there, you just place it in the trunk. We also have some of these buckets, which are supposed to be buckets of water which come alive alongside these brooms, which you also get 2 of, which feature the ordinary staff piece, in addition to this mop bottom, which I believe was also introduced in a collectible minifigure series, though it is exclusive, I believe, in this color. Really nice to get this, just as a reference to Fantasia. Another reference to Sleeping Beauty, or at least this might actually be the one reference that they reference in the instructions, we have the spinning wheel where you can turn yarn into gold. Overall, a pretty nice build. I'll remove it off the jumper plate so you can take a closer look. Of course, you can spin the wheel if you want, and you can see the gold coming out the other end. And there's a look from the back, and this is attached via clip piece. And from the very bottom, we have quite a lot of references going on. For this particular room, we have this kitchen, which is kind of modeled after The Little Mermaid, though we do get a small reference, that being this little jack-o'-lantern for Cinderella. We get a lot of different accessories in this particular area. We get some wine bottles, goblets, you get some knives, some pots and pans. And for the only food included in this set, we get a carrot and 2 sausages, which is just weird. I wish that they would have included like maybe a cake or a pie or something like that. Would have been nice to see, but oh well. For the last room over here, we have some references to Beauty and the Beast, where we have Lumiere, which is a quite interesting build, might I add, where we use one of those firefighter water gun pieces in yellow, and then we also have the clip piece connections just for the main face. Unfortunately, no printing, and LEGO could of course do this better now in the future in terms of building techniques where we actually have a lamp piece that you can actually use for Lumiere, in addition to the candles and the flame pieces that were introduced in Harry Potter. And then we have one last reference to Beauty and the Beast, being this rose under the glass, which I really like that they included this. It's something that I don't think we've really seen in any other Beauty and the Beast sets, or at least because I don't really collect the Disney Princess line, which hopefully they'll eventually make something with minifigures. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this part comes out to reveal some extra accessories that we have hidden inside. The first of which being a Cinderella reference with the glass slipper, which I think should have been on display, actually, instead of hidden, because this is indeed Cinderella's castle. And we also have a print for Cinderella's missing slipper as of this point in 2022, so I think that LEGO would eventually replace this with that printed piece, but otherwise I think LEGO did a nice job trying to represent it in LEGO form. And then the other thing included in here is this book, which features a print that you'll also be able to get in a 4+ Beauty and the Beast set that came out in 2018. It's really unfortunate that this didn't stay exclusive to the Disney Castle, because if it didn't come in that 4+ set, it could have stayed exclusive. You get that really nice Disney Castle print from the front, and then from the inside you get that Once Upon a Time print, which I believe has also been used in a number of other sets, just with a plain book instead of this one that includes the special print. Now, before I get ahead of myself with the details below, I did want to mention that there is one more reference that's hidden behind that main section of the castle that we just looked at. We have a reference to Disney Pixar's Brave with a bow and arrow, and of course a target, which that print will eventually become a reuse print. And then we also get some of these sweet pieces, which you'll also later on see in a few other various sets. Now, placing everything right on top of the main castle foundation, we can take a look at this part of the interior. Now, one thing that I really like about this interior is that we get a lot of studded space, so you can place your minifigures around wherever you want. I also wanted to mention how much I really love the pattern in the middle of the build, all that tiling off. I love the Nexonite shields and how they all fit together, all these different tile pieces. The only thing that I really have to complain about there, though, is the fact that it's one step down compared to all the plate pieces that you see surrounding it. After seeing Princess and the Frog from the very front of the build, our second reference for this section of the castle is for Aladdin, where we have the magic carpet, and we also have the genie's lamp, which is also a really nice piece to get. You'll also see those characters in the first series of the collectible minifigures, which is also really cool to see that they actually released those to go alongside some of these references. Another interesting thing that you're going to see from the back side of this castle are these knight figures, which don't feature any exclusive prints or anything. They are just common unprinted pieces, and also these armor pieces are in that really nice silvery color. You get that blue feather from the very top, and you also get a spear as the accessory. Nothing really too special otherwise for these figures, though you get 2 of them. We also get a rather nice vase build with some flowers from the top. We use the 1 ring to roll them all from the very bottom just to add a little bit more gold to this, which probably wasn't really necessary, but it's a nice gesture, I suppose. And then you also get the tiger flower butt piece. We also add these torches here to add some pretend light, in addition to just the chandelier that you can spin round and round. I really like the building technique there, where you use the pirate ship steering wheel and you get the clip piece connections and those fez cone pieces in white. And lastly, as we move to this side of the castle, you can see that we have this old grandfather clock, which features an exclusive print for the time on that 2x2 tile piece, again featuring the same exact time that you're going to see on the clock from the front of the build, which is nice. That'll eventually become a reuse piece that you'll see in some various city sets and even in the most recent Hogwarts clock tower. And the last thing that I'm kind of confused by, though of course this is probably something in the actual location that I just don't recognize because I've never been to Disney and eventually I would like to go there. We have these 3 shield pieces, which are unfortunately stickered and not prints, which is rather annoying considering it's an accessory, but I mean, it's not something that I generally recognize, so I don't really care at the end of the day. So overall, for $350, 6 years later, this set is still a great deal at that price point. LEGO hasn't gone out of their way to increase the price due to inflation, which I applaud them for, though no doubt at some point in the near future, LEGO's going to end up retiring this set and bringing out a brand new one with all exclusive minifigures and whatnot, which I'm really interested to see what they could do to make this set better. Though overall, the front facade of this build looks phenomenal. The color scheme is really well done, with the exception of the gold at the very top. I would like to see a little bit more gold for that top tower. I feel there's plenty of space in the interior for your minifigures to interact, though one thing that I would have liked to have seen more of is, of course, more references to various Disney movies, especially those that are underrated or those who aren't specifically Disney princess movies. In terms of what I think my favorite reference from this set is, it probably goes between the Aladdin and the Beauty and the Beast ones, though I also really like the accessories that they included for Rapunzel. You get a total of 5 or 7 minifigures if you count those suits of armor. Of course, nowadays we have the Mickey Mouse and Friends theme, which gave us so many new molds for these characters, and I'm really happy to see if that continues into 2023 or not. No doubt at some point we need a Series 3 Disney CMF. That is something that I would love to see LEGO do, or maybe even just finally tackle a minifigure scale theme for the Disney line. I think that would be really amazing for the fans. And the last thing that I have to add is I would have liked to see more space from the front for your minifigures to interact, because I just would love to have a whole minifigure display outside the castle. Well, of course you can stand them around if you have this on a shelf or something, but in reality I would love to just have everybody standing on the stairs leading up to the castle. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on this set. Also remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know every time I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!